sideways. So, first thing we're gonna do is you're gonna pick a card, or you're gonna pick 2 cards, and then you're gonna add and subtract whatever numbers on the cards, okay? Okay, so you can pick any card. And put it right there. So 4 and an 8. What's 4 plus 8?
4 plus 8. 12.
Good job. What's 8 minus 4?
4.
Good job. Okay. Pick me. 10 and 7. What's 10 plus 7?
10, 17.
What's 10 minus 7?
10 minus 7 is 3.
Good job. 2. What's 2 plus 2?
4.
What's 2 minus 2?
0.
Those are easy. What's 3 and 4? What's 3 plus 4?
7.
What's 4 minus 3?
4 minus 3 equals 1.
5. What's 3 plus 5?
8.
What's 5 minus 3?
2.
Good job. What's 7 plus 2?
7 plus 2 equals 9.
What's 7 minus 2?
5.
Good job. Okay, so that one was easy. And now we're gonna do this one. So you're gonna roll the dice twice, and you're gonna write the number, the first number you roll here, and the second number you roll here. 6. Okay. So you can write 6 here. Good job. 2.
2.
So you write 2 there. Okay, and see how in this one it says it's 3 and a 7. So 3 10s, and see how they have 3 long blocks here to show that that's a 10, that's 1 10, that's 2 10s, that's 3 10s. So can you draw a 6 right there? You make them all the same size? Okay, so good job. But next time you do those, like when you do these ones, make them all the same size so you know that they're all. And then how would you draw 2 ones?
1, 2.
Good job. Okay. So is that, so this, what does this represent? So that's 6 10s, but you can say it also like what? Like if you were gonna, remember how you broke down a number into one number into another number? Like see how this is 3 10s and they wrote 30? So if this is 6 10s, what would this be?
This one?
This one.
20.
No, okay. So see how this is 3 10s? So let's say this is 1 10 plus another 10 plus another 10 would be 3 10s, so that's 30. So if you have 6 10s, you know what 6, like so if 3 10s is 30, 6 10s would be what?
Oh, 60.
Good job. So you write that right there. And then plus how many right here? How many is that?
2.
2. Good job. And so what is 60 plus 2?
62.
Good job. Okay, get to roll again.
6. 6.
Okay, so can you draw that and make sure, try to make them all the same size. Good job. Good job. And then how many ones do you have to draw? Okay, so like the same one here. If we have 6 10s, how many is that?
6.
Good job. And then how many ones?
6.
So what's 60 plus 6?
66.
Good job.
4. 2.
So how many 10 rods are you going to draw?
4.
Good job. So same thing that we did up here. So this is 3 tens is 30, 6 tens is 60, so 4 tens is what?
40.
Good job. Plus 2. What's 40
Equals
plus?
42.
Good job.
2.
So how many 10 rods are you gonna draw? Good job. Good job. So then what's this? If there's 2 tens, what would be here?
20
Good job.
plus 5 is 25.
Good job. Okay, so I know you're struggling with these ones a little bit, but we can walk through it. So can you tell me what time this is?
7:45.
Can you tell me what time this is?
11:30.
Can you tell me what time this is?
2:15.
Can you tell me what this is?
9:15.
Can you tell me what this is?
6:45.
Can you tell me?
10:30.
Good job. Okay, so now we're gonna try reading. Can you try and tell me what this one means? So remember, we'll walk through this one together. So when you're looking, so remember the small hand tells you what? Does the small hand tell you this number or this number?
This
Good job. So the small hand tells you that big this first number, and the second hand, the long hand, tells you what minutes you're at. So when you're looking at like minutes, so whenever you're looking at the small hand, like for the hour, you choose whatever it's like behind, whatever it's past. So like for this one, what would the first number be? It would be 1, because you're not quite at the 2 yet, but you're still in between that area, in between 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so the small hand, so you'd be at 1, so we draw 1 here, and then your little dots, and then, so for when you're doing minutes, you look at it in like parts of 5, so this would be, 1 would be 5, 2 would be 10 minutes, if it was at the 3 hand, it'd be 15 minutes, if it was at the 4 hand, it'd be 20 minutes, if it was at the 5 hand, it'd be 25 minutes, this would be 30, 35, 40, you know what the next one is? What's 40 plus 5?
45.
45. What's 45 plus 5?
45 plus 5 is 50.
50. What's 50 plus 5?
55.
55. And then it start over at an hour.
12.
Yeah, so if the hand is on the 6, how many minutes would that be?
30.
30, good job. Okay. So now we're gonna do this one. So what's the small hand at? What would be the first number you write down?
25.
For when you're doing for the hour, you just do either 1 through 12. You don't, that's just for the minutes for the second part. So for the first hand, it'd be what number is it in between? Like what's that first number? It's in between.
30.
No, it's just for the first number. It's just gonna be 1 through 12. For the minutes, for the second number, it's gonna be one of those bigger numbers. So you know how when we're telling time, we don't ever say it's 30:10. Do we ever say that? No. So it's gonna. Do we say it's like? We say it's like 6:10, right? Right. So what number? What number is this in close? Like so, whenever you're doing the small hand, you can draw it all the way out, and you see that it hasn't gotten to the 6 yet, but it's past the 5. So what time would that be? It's either going to be 5 or 6. Which one do you think it is?
5.
5. And it's because it hasn't gotten on the 6 and it hasn't gotten past the 6. So you're at 5. Okay. So this hand looks like it's on the 3.
5:30.
No, let's look at
5.
some.
15.
Good job. Okay. So now we look at the small hand. So it's going to be one of these two numbers, right? But it can't. So it's which one do you think it is?
2.
Well, look, that's a 12.
12.
12. Good job. And then the hand looks like it's on the 9. So what would the minutes be?
4. 2, 40. What does that one say?
45.
45.
Okay. So it's either, so what numbers is the big hand in between? What numbers are those?
3 and 4.
Okay. So when you draw it out all the way, it doesn't look like it's quite hit the 4 yet, right? So what number would it be?
3.
3. Good job. And what number is the big hand on?
40.
Like again, so it's on the 9, right? And we said that if the 6 is if the 6 means that it's at 30 minutes, and the 7 means it's 35, and the 8 means it's 40, what's 40 plus 5?
45.
Good job. Okay, so let's look at this little hand. It's in what 2 numbers is it in between?
9 and 8.
Okay, so it hasn't quite got to the 9 yet. So what number would it be?
8.
Okay, and then what number is the big hand on? It's on the 6, right?
30.
30. Good job. Okay, so the small hand is in between what numbers?
4 and 5.
Which one is the
4.
right one? Good job. Okay, and the big hand's on what? If it's at 3, and remember we're going by 5s. So if 1 is 5 minutes, the 2 is 10 minutes. What's 10 plus 5?
15.
Good job, sis. 4, 15. Good job. Okay. For this one, we're looking at halves. So see how this is a square and there's a line shown to show how that it's been cut in half or it's been drawn in half. So can you circle the shapes that have been cut in 2 pieces?
This one.
Good job.
This one.
Has this one been cut in half? Why not?
Yeah.
It hasn't been, but why?
Because it's has
Halves mean it's cut into how many pieces?
2.
And how
And
many
it has
pieces?
3.
Good job. What about this one?
No.
Why?
Because it's only supposed to have 2.
And how many does it have?
4.
Good job. Okay. So, it says to cut them, but you don't have to cut them. You can just draw a line. How would you cut this circle in half? Can you draw a line where you? Good job. What about this one? Good job. See, what if I was gonna cut it right here? Would that be? Because when you cut it in half, that means that both sides have to be equal to each other. So if I cut it this way, would that work? Would that mean this side and this side are equal?
Yeah.
No, because look, see how if I look at it like this, see how this side looks different than this side? So that means those wouldn't be equal because they don't look the same, right? Okay, how would you cut this in half? Good job. And the cool things with squares is you can cut them in half 2 ways. You can cut it this way, or you can cut it, or more than 2 ways. You can cut it this way, or you can cut it this way, and it'd still be, like the 2 sides would still be equal to each other. Can you show me another way you can cut that one in half?
Like down.
You can do that. You could do it that way, or you could do it that way, or you could do it that way. So there's a bunch of ways you can do that one. And then for this one, it says color 1/2 of each of the shape. So you, yeah. Good job. Perfect. Can you do that one? Good job. Good job. Awesome. Okay. And so we're gonna look at these now. So these are all examples of squares. And so squares have 4 points, and you can cut them in half and they'd be equal. Is this a square?
No.
Why not?
Because it's supposed to be.
All connected?
Yeah.
And is this one a square?
No.
No. What shape is that?
That's a rectangle.
Good job. Is this a square?
No.
No. Okay. These are rectangles. So these are all examples of rectangles, see? And so it's like, with rectangles, or with squares, all of the sides are the same length. But with rectangles, these two sides are the same length, and these two sides are the same length. So is this a rectangle?
No.
Why not?
Because it's supposed to be straight out like that.
Good job. Is this a rectangle?
No.
No. Because it's not connecting, right? I don't even know what funky shape that is. That's not a rectangle. And these are triangles. You know that triangles have 3 points and they're all connecting. And they can look different like that. Like just because this looks different than that, it still means that they're triangles. Because with triangles, not all of their sides have to be the same length. Like with squares, how all of the sides were the same. With this one, you can have different sizes for all of the angles. That's a funky one too. Okay. So we don't have crayons, but I'll have you. So we're gonna look at all the triangles, and I want you to draw polka dots on all of the triangles. Can you draw polka dots on all of the triangles?
Like one or like.
You can do multiple, it's up to you.
Okay.
Good job. Perfect. Okay, and do you know how to draw a star? Can you draw stars on all of the squares? Is that thunder?
I messed up.
It's okay. You can draw a smiley face if you'd rather do that.
Okay.
Okay, there's one. Good job. And this is kind of a square, but it's got triangles in it. So I don't know if I would draw that one. Let me check. Yeah, I'll just do that one. So, good job. We found 2 squares. And then can you draw, what do you want to draw on the rectangles?
Stars.
Stars? You want to try doing stars again? Good job. Okay. I see one more. Good job. I think you got all of them right. All right. That's it, Juliana.